everyone, good evening, happy Tuesday. I hope that you're having a great one. We are back with day 15 of the 31 days of doodling. So we are nearly at the halfway point. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited about today's affirmation and journaling prompt. So, some of us had a bonus today because Anna had some technical difficulties this morning, and she was so sweet to go on and do another live. So if you were lucky enough to tune into both of those, you may already have that extra practice with drawing that doodle. So without further ado, I will do my rendition, and I really loved how her doodle came out. I can't say that enough. She had done her little person was like standing on this pier facing, it wasn't a pier, it was a boardwalk, I think. In my mind it was a pier, looking out onto a lake. I may do something similar. Yesterday I did a beach scene. So that wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. So I did this beach scene, so she was out on a beach, and I may play with that again. I also said that like one of my biggest inspirations was water, so I don't know if maybe Anna feels the same, but I definitely love water and being near water, so that pier was exciting to me. So I'm going to start out by doing my outline, and so I'm picking some colors. I'm thinking maybe orange and pink for her. Then we'll focus on the affirmation, journaling prompt, and then get on with the two-page spread, rather. So here it looks like her arms are outspread, again, like almost with that great Y shape, so this stroke is going straight across. I'm doing a thick line there. And then, so she has her hands, her fingers are splayed, and then her arm is coming down. So do that on the other side. So there's her arm coming down. And this is almost a straight line, just with the curve of the hip down into the foot. I really like this pose because it's so playful. There's a lot of the movement there. And there's her head. In my mind, I'm thinking that maybe instead of facing away, she's facing me. So I'm going to, I think I'll do her head with a skin tone. So where I'm going to use this pink. And then do a little bit of contour with this tan. Let's give her some hair. Let's give her some very beachy waves. So I said waves, and then I just started giving her straight hair. So I'm gonna go with the straight hair. There's a little bit of wave on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to color her in a little bit. I'm going to give her a little bit of blush, just right there across her cheeks. And then let's color her lightly, and then I'm going to go in with my watercolor brush. So I've got my smallest brush. I'm going to blend out her face first. And then I'm going to go in with a bigger brush. To blend out her outfit. And then go back, I'm just going to clean the brush off and go back in to do her hair. So this fuchsia is gorgeous. So I'm going to let this dry. I may go in a little bit and go over this with a little bit of pen to give a little bit more dimension, but I'm happy with the look right now, and of course I will put a little bit more features into my 2-day spread. So now I'm just going to focus on the affirmation, and then we'll look at the journaling prompt. So our affirmation today is, I focus on inspiring experiences. I'm going to grab my sticker book because I was committed to like using up some of these stickers, and I'm going to use just some bullet points for the affirmation and for the answer to the journaling prompt. So I'm going to keep this here for reserve. So that was, I focus on inspiring experiences. And then the journaling prompt is, what are your favorite neighborhood spots? This is a great question. So as always, I would echo the question and then do like a bullet list of my answers. So my favorite neighborhood spots. I'm really lucky in that I live in a very walkable area. So in my neighborhood we have 2 libraries that are within walking distance. I love going there. I just came from there today, actually. I also have a really great small bookstore in my neighborhood. I was there yesterday. And then we have lots of parks, and we are near the water too. So so we have like walking trails that are near the water. There's a fair amount of like trees and foliage and things like that, and I do take advantage and get a lot of walking in. So I'm saying walking trails. I did write parks. Then we have a lot of small businesses in the area. Like we have boutiques. Boutiques where you could get like clothing and accessories. And we have a good like coffee culture here. So we have coffee shops, And at the coffee shops, like we tend to see like the same people, like people in the neighborhood, so that really gives a great sense of community. And then we have like restaurants and bakeries. And I'm probably writing things that people have in their own neighborhoods, but I really frequent them, and I love my neighborhood and going to these small businesses and things, and I do get inspiration there. Not really from the places themselves, sometimes the places. If it's something like a walking trail or a park where you get to see the beauty of nature, I'm always inspired by that. But then with the small businesses, these are people that know me, and I love having conversations with them about the goings on, so I really get inspiration from that too. So there is our affirmation and our journaling prompt in our free printable notebook. So it's not too late. You can still download this, and then you'd have access to like each of the different doodles, and you can draw them, trace them. You could print these out over and over again, get your doodling practice on. And you can even keep your journaling and your affirmation limited to this area if you want to. Or you could even use this area for practicing the doodle over again. So it's been really fun. I've been really enjoying that. And you can download this on the NYC Planner Addicts Facebook group. This is a file, and it'll be up there even after our doodling challenge is over. Now, why did I put this away? I need to keep this open so that I can copy this over again. And you can jump in and join us wherever you are. So now I'm going to open up to my 2-page spread, and let's draw her over again from scratch. And I'm going to think about how I want my spread to look. I know that I mentioned before Anna had her on like a pier or on a boardwalk facing the beach. That was fun. That was a really fun look. I also like with her stance, I'm reminded of the tightrope where we had another figure where she was on a tightrope or like a wire, and I really enjoyed doing that spread. I may do that again. I don't know. And I also pulled out some more of that origami paper that I've been using, because I thought these could be fun to superimpose the doodle on the back of. So this says possible with like this reminds me of windmills on the back. Then you're the designer of your own destiny. I thought that was a great quote. And we have the fireworks in the back. I think I'm going to use the fireworks. Then we have like rain, no flowers. That maybe she could be holding the umbrella. And then we had enjoy the little things in life. Oh, on the back, this was like flowers. That could also be fun. Then we had enjoy the little things in life with like this green and blue background. So that's what I had pulled out before jumping on. I'm thinking maybe between these two being the background. Actually, I think maybe the fireworks. Maybe she's at the circus. Maybe, we're going to do maybe we can do the high wire again. And she's got fireworks in the background. Yes, I'm good. Let me fix the fireworks to the journal. I'll find my glue stick, and then I can do her on a piece of watercolor paper, similar to the way that I did yesterday. And we can use her as a die cut. Alright, so here's my watercolor paper, and I'm going to sketch her out really quickly. So we had kind of like that, it's like a very wide curve of her arms are open like that. Here's her head. I'm gonna do kind of like a mitten again, because I'm not great at drawing fingers. So really I just want to have the suggestion of a hand. So there's her arm, there's like her elbow. So then this is coming down in a curve. And I'm wearing a dress today again, so I think that she's going to wear one too. So her dress is kind of going down. And I'm going to pull this arm in, and it's going to come down as well. But on this side, her leg is going to be up. And here's her. I'm going to say the dress cuts off here, and here's her foot. And then her other leg just kind of goes straight down. So I'm going to give her a scarf. Let's do a scarf. And let's say that she's going in this direction to the right. So maybe her scarf is like billowing out behind her. So here it's kind of folding over her neck right here. Right, I'm going to give her, so my dress is like a shirt dress, so she doesn't wear the same outfit that I'm wearing, basically. So it has buttons that kind of come all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'll put more detail in when I do the inking part. So I'm going to kind of erase this line before I paint it. All right. So I'll cut this out before I add the watercolor, because I think that saved a lot of time yesterday. In not having to like wait for it to dry before cutting her out. I'm going to cut this off, and we'll reserve this piece of watercolor paper for tomorrow. Going to cut this off, and I'll have another square of watercolor paper for another day. And now we'll just fussy cut around here. so I just got another idea as I'm cutting her out and I'm looking at these fireworks. I have some more stamps that I think would be really fun to use. I had used some stamps yesterday on yesterday's journaling spread, and I have some stamps and I use them when I'm making cards, but I didn't consider myself as being like a stamping enthusiast. I feel like the stamps are cute and I'll use them to like fulfill the need for the stamp. Like you need to have the stamp for doing the sentiment, or you need the stamp for a particular craft. But like I would not say that I love stamps. So so I had done some stamping yesterday to add some detailing to the journaling page, and I really enjoyed the way that they looked, like more so than like other stamping projects that I had done. And I'm thinking maybe I can add more stamps for my journaling going forward. And for this journaling spread for today, there's some stamps that I think would go really nicely. So I'll pull those out in a second. So let's put this aside, and I'm going to get this is a piece of sticker paper. Like there were stickers on here, and when the stickers came off, I kind of kept the paper because it has this waxy surface that's great for for blending watercolors on, and for like just protecting your surface if it's a small project. So right now I have these watercolor markers. They're by Statler. I used them yesterday and the effect was so nice. Since I'm bringing up yesterday so often, I'll show you the spread from yesterday. This is it. And so there's the stamps that I added like around the perimeter of the page, and there's the figure with the Statler watercolor markers. And I loved how I just used one color here, but the way that it absorbed into the paper, there's just some natural shadow occurring. I didn't ink her yet, but there's a lot of dimension here without much effort from me. So I'm going to hope that I get the same type of effect today. And so let's color her in. I think that so if I want her to coordinate with this background, let's do like pinks again. I have like this pink, it's like a muted rose, and I have this one which is like a darker rose. And maybe let's do this one, which is probably more like a baby pink or like a salmon. And then for her face, I will pull in, let's see, this is it's like a beige, and I'll pull in like a tan. Okay, I'll do her face first. So these are Tombos. This is a 912 for the beige. So I would just add some color here, and let's do the tan over here, and I'm going to go in with the small brush and pick up the color from here. You see the brush just picks up like all the color and add it to her face. Then I'm going to pick up the tan. I'm going to add like a shadow around the face, just to give it a little dimension. Let's do some on her hands. My hands are usually darker than my face, so I don't mind using the darker color for that. Naturally we get a little bit more tan on our hands because they're just always so exposed. And I'll I'll give her shoes, so I will use a different color for her feet. Now, let's do her outfit. I'm going to do this is the medium pink for the outfit. Just want to pull out the wide brush. So let's pull this up. I'm going to just try to get as much color there as I can, and I'm going to take like a wider brush. I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit less than ½ an inch wide. I'd say like 3/8 of an inch. And I'm going to pick up all this color, and we will paint her in. I chose the wide brush just so that I could get the larger surface area. So I'm going to color in her dress. I'm going to do, so this is the button placket. I'm going to do that in a different color, just to give it a little bit more interest. I got more color here. I see that paper absorbed so much of the color. I'm going to need more. So again, I'm going to just get this down. And I'm going to wet my brush again, pick up this color. So let's get her other arm. And let's get her dress. Okay, so I'm going back in to just edge as closely to that button placket as I can, and then I'm going to go in with the darker color to do the that button placket. Alright, so let's do this color for her button placket, and I'm going to use the light pink for her scarf. I'm going to do the light pink first. So I'm going to get this color down again. I'm going to get a smaller brush than I used last time. This is a small round brush. So again, I'm going to pick up the color. Getting it around. This pink, I'm not thrilled with it. It looks too light. But that's okay. I'm going to go over it with a darker color. I was hoping it would be more of like a baby pink. I'm going to go do that button placket with that darker rose and come back to her scarf. So I'm picking up the color from the rose. Let's go down. Even the rose is just kind of unexpected. It looks darker, but it's not coming out. I was looking for this button placket to be darker than the pink of her dress. gonna see how if it's going to be darker on her scarf. Okay, so yeah, the rose is a better color for her scarf. I think I'm gonna go down that button placket with something a little darker, maybe like something like a fuchsia would be great there. I do like how her dress looks. There's the way that the colors dry. There's so much dimension. Let's see, not this. This is like an orange. This is pulling more red. This is kind of purple. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, so I've got that the thin brush. I picked up the color, and I'm just gonna run it like very lightly along the placket. Okay, so this is kind of the tone I was going for. Let's add some flowers to her hijab with that, just to give a little bit more interest. Okay, I really like that. And for shoes, let's do, I'll do a black shoe. We've got some black. I'm gonna grab a small brush. Okay, so there's the one shoe, and here's her other shoe. Okay, so I'm gonna let her dry over here. She's almost dry anyway. The nature of this paper is that it is sucking up a lot of that watercolor, and I love that it dries so quickly. I'm gonna put these watercolor markers away. Just to get them off my desk, and we will bring in, I'll bring in my glue stick, and I'll bring in my stamp that I was thinking about, and maybe some washi tape. Okay. Alright, so she's drying right here, and I've got these fireworks. I'm going to do, maybe we'll do fireworks in the top corners. Okay, so I'm just gonna tear it like right here. We'll put a firework right there in the top corner, and I'm gonna get another firework. Let's see, is this going like in the right direction? I don't know. I think I did this wrong. I think the firework is supposed to be like kind of coming down. Okay, so let me put this aside. Let me use this firework right here for this corner, and then I will use this one for this corner. half, this bottom piece, okay, just so that it can be tapered. So let's glue this down. Glue the other side. So again, I really love using origami paper for this type of spread because it's so thin that you can get a really nice look without having too much bulk in your journals. And then once this dries, you can even like meter the edges a little bit so that to round the corners so that they're more flush with the book. Okay, so she's going to be here. I just had a funny thought. What if she's like holding plates? I don't think that I can fit plates here because the die cut is a little too large, but that would be a great journaling die cut as well. Like, what mother isn't, you know, or what woman isn't juggling a lot of things at once, right? So I have, so I mentioned stamps. I've got, so my thought is that she's juggling a lot of different things, maybe different responsibilities. I myself, I'm thinking about like Ramadan coming up for us right now, and I had stamps that, I had these stamps. These are the little Ramadan lanterns, and I also have these. I thought that would go, and I have this one here. I thought those would go really well with those fireworks. So we could play with one of those stamps, maybe like right here. Maybe this one would fit right there in the middle. I think I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so there's my stamp. I'm just going to grab a stamping block that would fit this. And yeah, I think I could do it so that it fits across both pages. Bear with me while I grab a stamping block and some ink. Okay, so there's a block. And for ink, maybe we could do either a blue or a purple. I have this one. This is really beautiful purple. And I do have a really beautiful blue. Let's do both. Maybe I'll pull out one of those smaller lanterns and do an alternate color with those. So let's do, I think that the purple is darker, so I'm going to do the purple for this large lantern trio at the top of the page, and I'll do some smaller lanterns in the blue. So I'm going to ink up this stamp with this ink. And let me know if you have any questions, guys. This ink is called Memento by Dewdrop. I used it yesterday. They have like a very nice assortment of colors, and they come in this small format, which is great for like either small projects or if you do a lot of distressing type of things. So I've inked this up. I'm gonna do this as carefully as possible. I'm also going to try to get this across both of the pages. Okay, so I think that was successful. I'm just going to push it down without trying to move it. All right. Okay, that looks good. I can probably fill this in a little bit more with, maybe with some pen. Okay, so that I'm happy with. I'm going to put this aside. Let's do maybe a smaller one. Maybe over here. I think this one is really beautiful. Okay, I like that. And then maybe the smallest on this side. Okay. So I've got my little lantern. I've got a smaller ink block. I'm going to do that blue. So I'm inking up the stamp. I'm going to put that right here. Oh, that's a beautiful design. Will she be in front of, okay, so maybe some of it will be hidden. I should do that again, right? Maybe on this side. Maybe I'll do it here. Whoops, okay. I'll position her so that she's not, maybe she can go on this side. Yeah, okay. We will have her on this side. Maybe she's looking in this direction, right? Yeah, I don't think that she's looking in either direction, so she can go on any side of the page. Okay. I didn't want to hide that lantern. It looks so beautiful. Okay, let's do a smaller lantern. Before I do that, let me put her down because I don't want to stamp anymore and then have her like in front of something. If you had questions on the stamps, they're from DS Stamps. So again, when I glue down those the watercolor paper, I would use more glue than normally because the watercolor paper does absorb a lot. It's a little bit porous, and I want to make sure that she's very firmly affixed to that background. Alright, so here she is. She's down. I'll move her up a little bit. I'm going to use this to just kind of burnish her against the paper. She's coming out of the book a little bit. You see like her hand and her foot are coming off of the page, but I'm okay with that. Alright, so now that she's dry, she's on the page. We still have our stamps out. I can probably get one more, maybe one more lantern in here. Maybe this small one. Or this one. Now I think I'm going to gonna do the small one. I love the lanterns, but I don't want to clutter up the page too much. So this is the small one that I'm thinking about. Let's do, should we introduce a third color? No, I really like the blue. Let's stick with the blue. So again, inking up the stamp, and I'm gonna get it right there. Okay, so there's the last stamp. I'm just putting these stamps aside so that I can wash them once I'm done. And now maybe we can have a border too. I really enjoyed doing the washi tape border yesterday, so I may do that again, probably over here, because that stamping did bleed through a little bit. I have this, which kind of is that same blue, which is really pretty. I also have this one. Oh, this one has like that purple and the blue that kind of goes well with the fireworks. And then we have this one, which is purple. Let's open them and see what works. All right, and I've got one more, and this one has the pink from her dress. So I kind of like how this goes with, so we've got the pink from her dress and the purple from those fireworks. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it this one. Let's do this one. I'm going to get another layer. I have like a purple grid washi that would, let's see, I have pink, and I have a purple that would provide like a really nice contrast. I think the purple is speaking to me more than the pink is. So there's the washi. That is very pretty. All right, so there we go. There's the washi. I think we're just gonna leave it like that. It's very simple, but it really pops on the page. I think it works well with the fireworks and the lanterns and everything else. Do I want to put a quote? I don't know if I have a quote that that kind of goes with this theme. But if I don't have a quote sticker, we could always just hand letter one really, really quickly. Let's do that. So I focus on inspiring experiences is the quote. Let me grab a pen, and let's do it in like a purple so that or a blue. I think, let me grab a blue pen. let's see, I've got two. I've got like this one and I've got this one. I'll go with this one because it's a little bit darker. And I'll put the quote right here. I'm gonna make my quote like very like airy looking. So as opposed to a block quote or a heavy calligraphy style quote as I've done in the past. So it's just gonna be very thin with like a long line. So it's my focus. On inspiring experiences. I'll put experiences down here. It looks like I ran out of space. Go. There's our quote, and our spread is done. Thank you for spending some time with me this evening. Again, you can join us anytime, jump in. You can download that printable planner from the NYC Planner Addicts group. So it has, all of the days with the doodles and the affirmations and the journaling prompt. I look forward to filling out this spread with my more expanded thoughts about my neighborhood. And I look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's a great doodle, especially for those of you who maybe haven't joined us and you want something simple to get started. So I'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. and we'll be back on at 9, and we're enjoying ourselves, and we look forward to seeing you then. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.